fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at something really cool. This is the Hot Toys Mandalorian and Grogu Deluxe Edition. This is the chromed out paint on Mando, so he is very, very shiny. He comes with a bunch of extra accessories by virtue of being the Deluxe Edition, and just, there's so much cool stuff going on here. I, unfortunately, have been bitten by the Hot Toys bug. They were running a sale. They're doing it every week. As of time of recording, we're like 5 in, where they're giving you a free Hot Toy with purchases over X amount of dollars, and I had to get in on the one for the free Tython Boba Fett. So this Mando and an Armorer got me there. Of course, you probably know what I got if you saw my unboxing live stream a few weeks back, but finally getting around to it. So let's go ahead, get into the review, and see if Mando and Grogu are good pickups for you. Here is the packaging. As always, we start by taking a look here, and I gotta say, it is very, very nice and premium looking. You get a really cool photo of the deluxe version of Mando holding the deluxe speeder bike rail, looking awesome. You got Grogu in the bag, you got Boba's helmet. Really, really nice stuff going on here. This little slip is just obscuring the Star Wars logo a little bit, but it's in very nice foil. And then you kind of have an orangey color theme going on here. The photo of Mando with his helmet off. His number is TMS052, the Mandalorian and Grogu Deluxe version, because he's deluxe. Hot Toys logo. This side features a really cool promo photo of the Mando figure. Again, you got Star Wars, Mando and Grogu, Disney. Have that nice gray on matte black motif. Over here, just the name of the set again, and the gray on black motif. Bottom of the box features a Star Wars logo, same as the top, and around back includes the holographic Disney foil, which means that this absolutely is never ever going to be a bootleg. You can never fake foil. And then you have a bunch of information, legal information, just about the designers and everyone that went into working on this, and a bunch of stuff, you know, in varying languages. There's anime for you, and yeah, barcode. So very, very standard packaging things. Opening it up, they do kind of open like a shoebox where there's a slip-off top. You do get a really cool, like, diorama product photo where it's just lit incredibly well in a scene. Underneath of that, you then get the figure in the tray. So I'm going to begin to extract these many, many pieces and give you guys a look at what we're getting here. So, I think getting into it, the way to start would be to show what makes it deluxe. Now, as I understand, there's only one portion of this that does make it the deluxe version, and that is everything that I have to the left over here. So, there is a display option where you can have Mando carrying Boba Fett's gear that he just got from Cobb Vanth, because you remember the speeder got destroyed, and so he had to take the rail of the speeder, which just looks amazing here, and he had to strap all of his gear to it. So you do have a speeder bike handle, you have the wraps over that portion of it, there's little bends and bows in the bar of indications paint-wise. There's just been some insane wear and tear and snapping going on here. And the gimmick in the episode was he was carrying it over his shoulders, hands up on each side, and he had all of the gear dangling from it. So this is the core of it. It comes with 2 parcels, just his gear that you would dangle from it. The smaller one you would just hang on with this strap, and these you just loop onto that rail. This one you loop onto the rail like so, and if you notice, there's a second little clip here. Now, to get into Mando's jetpack, there is a little D-ring down in there, and that's for this to clip onto. It's a little bit of a fiddly process, but you can actually clip this onto it and then have it dangling from the bag, because that is correct. That's how he carries it home in the episode. So that's a neat display option there for sure. You then get Boba's jetpack, looking super cool, very, very acid weathered, and it's got these fabricy straps all over it for tethering it down, and then this cord is just for dangling off like so, and it dangles nicely. And then you get Boba's helmet, which just looks insane. It's in this kind of stringed webbing, and because he kind of webbed over it and then dangled it from the speeder rail. And this is just painted impeccably. I love everything about this. It features his working rangefinder, and inside there's all sorts of detailed sculpting. Just, this is insane. It's way more than it needed to be, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what Hot Toys does. One final accessory is actually another bit of strap, and it features a Velcro here. This actually isn't to do with this figure, but there is a separate for sale speeder bike. You can buy the unexploded version of the speeder bike, and then you can strap everything to it, as it was in the episode prior to exploding. And that strap is something that will help you do exactly that. So that is a really, really cool bunch of accessories. And at one point, I will show you it all assembled, but I'm going to continue running through the accessories now and their functions. So, first, and I believe this would be with the standard, there are 2 swappable hand pegs, which are very nice. It is always good to get spares of those. And then speaking of the hands, it might just be time to run you through all the interchangeable hands. Mando comes with 2 trigger fingers, one for each side, with the black gloves with the yellow fingers, and he has these kind of like gray back plates with the blue triangles on them. They're weathered very, very nicely. Spinning them around, they would carry the blasters nicely as well. They are a little bit rubbery, just enough that you can like get the blasters in his fingers. And yeah, this is a very nice set of hands. Mando also comes with a pair of fisted hands painted very similarly to the last one. These ones are just sculpted into fists, therefore they cannot carry accessories at all. They're just for, putting them up and duking it out with you. So they also look very nice. Mando then comes with these thumbs-up hands. No, these aren't for thumbs up. They're for carrying certain accessories. See, they have a little bit more of a straighter grip with the thumb up to kind of like rub on the item that he's carrying. These work very well for the Darksaber and the spear, and certain other accessories where it just might be nice to have him carry them. So yeah, all in all, a thumbs up from me. And then in the package, Mando has these relaxed hands that he has going on. And they're good for neutral posing. They're good for kind of just relaxed looking. They are also pretty essential for him carrying the speeder bike rail, which is the Deluxe. However, I don't think that these are included purely for that reason. Something on this figure that is absolutely annoying to me, if anyone has this figure, let me know if your situation is the same, is swapping these hands, where every time that I go to swap one of them, pull on it and they're a little snug, you pull it straight out, and it always wants to take the ball joint out on every single one of these, and then it's very stuck in the hand, and it's a rubbery hand, so you'd think it would come out fairly easily, but it's just not. I had to pop that out with my teeth. You should never have to pop this out with your teeth. I think that they're just maybe a smidge too grippy. So yeah, I have to like pull it out, swap it over to the hand, and then bring the new hand over and pop it in like so. And it is just a little bit of a chore. I don't super love that. That is definitely an annoying reality of this figure. And it's on all the hands. It's not just like 1 or 2 of them are a little too tight. Like, they are all kind of rough. So, running through other accessories. This one's really, really cool. This is an incredibly well done flamethrower effect. It has a touch of blue in the clear at the bottom, and then it gets very yellow and even a little bit of red as it goes on. And it is sculpted very blowery, flame blower, flamethrower. It's very, very neatly sculpted. It is meant to be attached to his right gauntlet. Let me get it up and do a little bit of a using it pose. And you might see there's a little bit of a slot in the gauntlet that this aligns into, and you see the splits here. There's a flat side and slides into that alignment position like so, and it does look very good when you actually get him posed up in a way that it looks like he's using it. So yeah, that's a really nice accessory. He also comes with this like grappling hook. It is sculpted very, very well. A little bit of blue, a lot of silver going on, and I don't know how brave to get with this. I think this is metal wire. I just don't want to get crazy on bending or accidentally bow it. It is meant to slide into the gauntlet right about where the flamethrower effect goes. You just slide it in like so, and then it holds in very securely. And yeah, that is a really cool accessory. He comes with this swappable helmet piece, which gives him the flashlight on the side of the helmet. It's painted very, very nicely. And to attach that, you just pop this earpiece off. It doesn't stick in super solidly, but it is not difficult to remove either. And pegging it in like so does give you the little illuminating flashlight, the little attachment that he usually stores on his belt. So that is just a really nice inclusion, and I like how that worked out. Mando comes with his blaster pistol, and this has been painted very, very well. It looks very worn, very used, very much a part of this very rough and tumble life in a galaxy far, far away. I really like the sculpt on this. This just looks really nice. It fits into the trigger finger hands well that I showed you a little bit ago. He also features, let me show off here, get the cape out of the way. There is a working holster there, and it has a leather strap that untabs. You shove the blaster in like so once you get it opened and worked down in. And then you pull the strap back over top, and you fish it through the little loop here. It is definitely a fiddly process. That's definitely annoying. Thankfully, I don't really intend to pose him using the pistol. It's a cool look. Another accessory that's done very well, but I'm probably not going to use, is his knife. This is done incredibly well. It has a very nice dark silver blade and then a very worn, chipped paint handle going on here. And I do really like how this worked out. It is very faithful to what we see on screen. And he stores it in the side of his boot. I don't know that this is intended storage, but it does fairly easily fit down in there. I think I'm ultimately going to leave it in the box out of fear of snapping it off. He comes with this controller box. Not really sure about it. It, it's a nice gunmetal color. It's got some silver piping, a little red light on the front, and some indications of buttons. And I don't remember where this is from. It features a metal hanger, and the directions actually imply that he is to wear it on this little hook on his belt. And it does hang on there very well. It does dangle, as most D-ring things do. But yeah, I'm completely blanking on the reference here, so I'm probably not going to display him using that. Another thing that's really cool is the amount of options you get for his whistling birds. So the whistling birds look really, really nice as is, but there are some removable panels to it. And these hold on rather nice, but you have to remove the main body of them first. And there's not really anywhere that you get a lip under, maybe just at the back. But you see, you remove this larger body portion, and then the very tip comes off. Like so. Very small pieces. Be careful not to lose them. Now there's two options here. There is a swappable tip that you can put in, and then you have to put that original body piece back on. And this just shows them primed. They are just sticking out of the holes. You know, they're getting ready to launch, but he has not yet launched them. And that's one really cool display option, I will say. But the one that is just absolutely bonkers and might end up making its way to my shelf, swapping them back out, is this launching whistling birds option. And just look at the sculpt. Just the smoke trails and the little silver missile bullets at the tip. And that mounts on as just one complete module. It's an entire assembly like so. Mando comes with one removable grenade. It has some very nice red paint on the top of it. It's silver. It has some ridges around it, and the back is felted. There's no magnets. You can't just go sticking it to things around like a dio, but he does feature a workable slot on his belt that it goes into. It is a nice display, and it does look nice having him totally stocked up. Now we start getting into some of the big accessories. One that I think is absolutely bonkers that he comes with is the Darksaber. This has been done very, very well. I love the blade on it. The crackling throughout it is painted very, very nicely. I do wish that maybe it had come with like a light-up blade option, like a lot of the lightsabers come with. I don't know that they could do it because obviously it is very flat, and I don't know if they would just be hindered by the technology available, but it is just really, really cool. And if they could find a way to get some lighting up into that, I think it would look very nice. Painted very nicely. It does seem to be a faithful recreation of what is seen on the screen. And yeah, I love this. Features a little D-ring down on the bottom, and I'll show you my storage method for that. But it does feature a removable blade. It's very tight, but you remove the entire top portion of the saber, and then there's a replacement top portion that makes it look unignited. You see the silver tip in there. It just looks super cool. So that control box that I have no attachment to, that I don't know what it's from, does leave that D-ring empty if you don't have them displayed with that. And it does look nice on his belt, I will say. Mando also comes with the Beskar spear. Now this looks really, really good. I'm super satisfied with how this turned out. It's very silver. It has all the ridges sculpted into it, and the tip is very pointy. And yeah, something cool is he does come with weapon storage for it. There's this clip on a string, and it's got a little bit of felt in there. And to put this on, you have to pop the helmet off. Take the neck with it. Why not? And then it says to pull the cloak up and then wrap this around his neck, and then wrap the cloak back through to the neck, and then put the head back on. And now you see this thing is just kind of dangling here, and you just take the spear and you clip it on like so, and then you kind of just hangs, kind of just works out how it's supposed to. It is so long that, at least right there, it's sticking off camera, there it's almost touching the ground. So yeah, I mean, that's actually a really, really cool display option, and one that I'm super glad they found a workaround on. Another really, really cool piece is the disintegration rifle. It's painted very nicely though. Nice silver on the tongs, little bit of like oxidizing around the base. Very, very subtle, very mild. It's pretty nice. A little bit of weathering going around it. It has a nice dark gray base with some wood accents, some gold accents, a little bit of silver here and there. Nice wood paint on the stock. And yeah, it just looks the part. It looks very nice. It's very long, almost as long as Mando is tall. And it just, again, it just looks nice, right? Can't say that too many times. He does feature some working storage for it, and that is this strap with this clip. The way that you would store this is spinning it around, looking at the cloak. You see there's a strategically placed hole in it. It's very tattered, and they just make it look like a tattering. But he's got this magnetic strap back here, and you fish that through, and that magnetic strap, you open it, you fish the blaster through it, and then you let it reclose, like so. And then you carry this strap up and over his shoulder, and then on this little portion right here, there is a hole in there. And I'm going to be honest, I've broken this already, so I'm not going to push super hard. But see, on mine, it pegs in so dang tight that when I went to unpeg it, the peg just stayed in the hole. So I have it very, very loosely in there. You can see through it. But that does let him carry it over his shoulder. Ultimately, this is going to be a post-losing the Razor Crest Mando on my shelf, in my opinion. He features his jetpack, which looks very, very nice. It's very chrome, just like the rest of the figure. And I love it. It's a very cool-looking jetpack. It's a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, the whole figure is. But yeah, around back, there are magnets underneath of this soft foam felted area. And the way you attach it is very simple. First, you pull the cloak away, and you drag it over to whatever side you'd want it to dangle off of, and you just stick. And it sticks on like so. It obviously wobbles if you do anything too crazy with it, but it's not just falling off willy-nilly, and that is very nice. I do like that. So that's a really, really nice function. He comes with a man purse, right? Fish it under his arm, and then up and over his head. But it's got to be pulled to the front because of what the contents are. And the contents are this little Grogu statue. Oh my gosh. This is so, so well done. I love everything going on here. Now, he is pre-posed. He is basically not articulated. He has a ball joint on the neck, and that's it. So he has that hand that's just kind of permanently stuck up. The other one's down. You do have little Grogu feet going on underneath, and just, this is sculpted incredibly well. Look at that little face, the shine in the eyes. Like, oh my gosh. Like, this is nuts. And the skin tone, like, inside the ear. And then, yeah, just, this is amazing. He can, of course, ball joint his head all over the place. Anything that you can ever want to do with a ball joint. Really, really loving that. Just what a superb little accessory, right? So, Grogu can just be stuffed inside the bag, because remember, Mando didn't really have a pram for him for a lot of Season 2. But you just stuff him in the bag like so, pose him around a little bit, maybe get his ear up in front of the strap, I don't know. And now he's just running around with dad dough for the entirety of the season in a man purse. Nothing wrong with that. Now this last accessory has me absolutely sold. You, as I mentioned earlier, pull the Mando helmet off, comes with the neck, and then if you peg this down in there, you get a Pedro Pascal Din Djarin likeness here. And this thing is just superb. I mean, that is a dead ringer. I saw the photos of this, and I was like, yep, there's my reason right there. Not even going to pose him helmetless, because that's not the way. But just, wow. Like, this is just amazing. I love this. This is such a great head sculpt. Hot Toys just nailed it here. It looks oh so super good, and I love it. So, that is a great accessory. Now, for one final accessory, I promise we're on to the last one here. He does come with a stand. It says The Mandalorian on the chrome plaque in the front of the Star Wars logo. This one isn't a flat ship base. This is the Sands of Tatooine, and actually has little boot prints molded in. And actually, the set behind him starting in here. But yeah, you can nest his feet in there, and then it has a crotch grabber, and you just nest him on. So I'm going to set him up like so. And yeah, he just falls into place. And, you know, it's a good stand. I was just going at the table pretty hard, and it kept it up. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into the actual review portion. Now that we're like 20 minutes into the video, let's actually take a look at the figure. I know that you've gotten a little bit of a peek at it so far, showing off the accessories, so I'm not gonna like linger too super long on things, but there is some cool stuff to talk about for sure. The absolute best selling point of this figure is that chrome finish. There's a standard version that doesn't have it. It's just painted silver. And you know what? Honestly, it would probably be okay. But just knowing that this alternative is out there, this version that has this just insane finish, and why does that earpiece keep falling off? My gosh, is that annoying. It's going to get super glued in if it keeps doing that. But just look at the finish. I mean, you can see me. That's me in the chest plate over there. Like, I actually had to wear clothes once during a review. Yeah, that might have been too much. But, I mean, just the finish on this is bonkers. And take a look at that helmet. Let me just bend the knees so I can get them in close enough to the camera. But, I mean, look at the absolute perfection that is this deco. I mean, it bounces the light off amazingly, and it is just a beautiful sculpt. It very well represents Din's helmet as we've seen it so far. It has a little bit of black speckled paint on it just to really give it some texture, some life, you know, makes it look, you know, like he's been doing things and getting dirty and grimy, and it is just oh so nice. The cape, I do like to keep it up over the shoulder pad. It worked its way down. The cape lays very nice, but it has a wire in it, and it's a very nice material. It's very tattered, but you can have it blowing in the wind, and the wire will kind of help you achieve that. Won't let you do anything. It won't hold that, but it'll hold it off to the side or over to the other side or out, you know, however you want to articulate it. So it is really nice that you do have that display option there. It looks oh so good. And that Mudhorn signet, just my gosh. The undersuit looks very nice. It has all the appropriate stitching. I was watching reviews just to get some ideas for mine, honestly. Like, not stealing, just, you know, just like how to go about reviewing a Hot Toy, since I've never done it before. And people were talking about how, like, it's supposed to be brown. I don't know. It's kind of like a blend of brown and gray. Like, I think it's all right. I think it looks good. I don't look at it and not see Mando, so I think we're objectively like in the right area here. But just, this is just oh so cool looking. and just a beautiful piece. All that chrome armor looks great. All the pouches everywhere and belt buckles and rivets and just everything just stands out like it should, or blends if it's supposed to blend as well. Just the back plate there, the butt plate with the shot. Someone tried to get him square on the butthole and they didn't because of that plate. Like, just superb painting here. Nice little indication of some rust on that, because I don't think that's a Beskar plate. That's like, isn't that what, the thigh of Q90? I thought I saw someone say in a comment. That might be wrong. I know I read that in a comment, but I don't know if that person was correct or not. Something interesting is all of these cylinders, not on the boot, but like on the straps up here, like they do play a little bit. They do potentially come out even. So, like, I definitely would advise just keeping an eye on them so you don't end up losing things. Of course, Hot Toys aren't really meant to be, like, picked up and played with a ton. You kind of find a pose, put it on the shelf, a couple months later, maybe repose it, change the display up a bit. But I don't know. This is just beautifully done. I absolutely adore everything about this figure. I think that it is a great representation of the current version of the costume worn by Din Djarin. I say current, I guess it's slightly different now as of Mando Season 3's finale. But, I mean, just very minutely, whereas like this holster's gone because he doesn't have that blaster anymore. I mean, tiny changes. But objectively, this is what he's still rocking, has been rocking for a while, and I do really like the overall look. Something that is, I'll openly say, is annoying, and I've heard people talk about it, is underneath of this jumpsuit, he has this like padded muscle suit. It's like a layer of foam over the figure, and it hinders the articulation in certain places. And some of it is just he's a dude in armor, and that's also a little bit annoying, but like, his arms can come up to here, but then they spring back down to there, and it's like you want to get his arm forward. But man, you get really tight in there, and it really wants to pull it right back down. Or if you get, the rotations going on. I was just having a hell of a time getting things to like really land a pose I want. And it's almost like, do I force it? Do I make it work? Like I'm trying to make the flamethrower effect work, and it's like it's getting tight, It's getting tight, and I just don't want to ultimately damage my figure. But I guess now that I've gotten brave on camera, I did generally get it forward. There's just things where I'm just like how hard do I want to take this? How much force do I want to put into it? But I guess I'm getting it. But yeah, there's just some padding in there, a little bit extra, and it's slightly annoying, but I mean, it does look the part. So, it looks like Mando. I can't argue that. So, yeah, I think ultimately it's worked out very well, and it's something I'm satisfied with. To run through articulation, and I hope I have found it all. He features a double ball neck, allowing him to look that far up, that far down, and of course it gives you a ton of tip and pivot for attitude, and just all over the place, bringing around town. His arms, as I showed, come up to about there, and then theoretically the joint is capable of doing 360, but the fabric bodysuit hinders that. There's an upper bicep rotation. There's double jointed elbows that can go about that far, and then the gauntlets, it's not a rotation like articulation, but they are floating on the fabric bodysuit, so that's nice. The wrists feature a peg, and then there's a hinge, so you can like vertical, or you could twist it, make it in and out. Kind of just depends on the hand and how you would like to use it. There is a ab crunch in there underneath of everything. That's about as far as you can get them to go. That's not bad. I'm going to go about that far back, which is nice. And then you can get a little bit of twist in there, but it's just under a lot. His legs can kick this far apart and that far forward before you start getting into stuff. Back just a little bit. There's an upper thigh rotation. Double jointed knees can go very, very far. And then the feet are on ball joints that can, you can pop it off, so there is a limit there. But let me re-stick that on. I think we're on. You can go that far down, that far up, and then you can pivot it in any direction that you choose. So you can really articulate them in a ton of different ways, get a lot of great display options out of them, and I do ultimately really like that. As promised, here's Mando with all of the deluxe gear attached, and this does look really, really cool. It's just not the look that I'm personally looking for on my shelf, so I don't think I'm going to stick with it, but I do just want to say it does look very nice. It's not a bad way to display this in any way. I do like how this has worked out. It looks really cool. And yeah, I'm going to get him in a cool pose and give you my final thoughts. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the Hot Toys Deluxe Mandalorian? I think this is really, really cool. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple of things that definitely frustrated me with this figure, but as I've had it out of the box and as I've gotten to play with it and pose it and just really get to know the figure, I do really, really like how this one turned out. He's really cool. I love a lot of these dynamic effects he has. It's going to be fun changing him up on display every couple of months, and yeah, I just really cannot emphasize how cool I think this figure is. I love that he comes with a Grogu. I think that's essential. Kind of wish he had a pram. I'm probably going to buy the version of Grogu with a pram just on his own, and that's all right, but this is just super cool. I mean, this is like, as a big Mandalorian fan, this is like the thing to have. Like, it is so cool. It presents amazingly, and I love it. Just such a beautiful piece, such a great addition to my collection. If you're not a Hot Toys collector, you know, it's definitely a big pill to swallow. I'm new to it. Probably why this review sucks. Probably why it took way too long to make. But it's all right. We're here. We're having fun. And that's what matters. So, do I recommend it? Yeah. But, like, there's a lot to it if you've never had a Hot Toy before. So that's kind of where we're at. Thanks for watching, everyone. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. All the end of video stuff, you know the drill. I'm going to go work on something else for now. So, until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.